Hi there, it's Kyle. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about photographs. Now, I have some issues with mine, but we'll talk about that a little bit once we get into it. And then I have the top three or lowest three as far as profit goes since I last talked to you. And I have the top five for profit since I last talked to you. So sit tight there and we'll be right back. All right, so here we are. So I'm going to get right into the topic today, which is photographs. Now, if you've taken a look at my store on eBay, you'll notice that my photographs look a little different than a lot of people's. The biggest reason is because I shoot everything on a key screen, and then I remove the background and put in a background that pertains to what the product is. And as we get into this conversation a little bit more, it's not really a conversation because I'm the only one talking. Um, I will tell you why I do that and why I take the extra time to do that. Because photos are important. There's no two ways about it. A lot of people say they're just as important as your, title of your product. So those are things that are going to get, and your description. Those are things that are going to get the most attention. And so you should give them a little extra time because it's going to come back to you in a positive manner. So let's go over the lowest three profits. I can tell you for sure that there were some stinkers. There were also some really great ones, but there were some stinkers. Not a bunch of stinkers, though, surprisingly. I'll go ahead and start off with this one, and it's a DVD. And, when I started doing this about a year ago, my wife and I leaned real heavy on DVDs because I can. The whole reason this started is because I can tell you what a DVD is, or not always a VHS, but definitely an album or a CD from the spine. Even from a little distance, I can usually have an idea of what that is. Now, the one I'm going to talk about here, there's no way. But if I notice something and it looks different or weird, that's another reason I'll purchase it, because probably chances are there's not a lot for sale on eBay. And I will have one that will be something someone out there is looking for. So, of course, there's a lot of other stuff that goes into that. The first one I have is the Pioneers and Legends of Bluegrass on DVD. So it's actually a pretty cool DVD, and it's pretty rare. It did take a little while to sell. I can tell you that. It definitely didn't fly out the door. I think I had that sucker. Let's see. Let me try and get an idea roughly when I bought that. Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, here we go. Yeah, I purchased that thing almost a year ago. Yeah, I purchased that on the 20th of January in this year. So we're about 2 months away from that being a year. So 10 months ago, I purchased this and first listed it and all that jazz. And it just sold about 10 months later, pretty much on the nose. Not really. Close enough. Anyway, it ended up selling for a total of $21.83. There was sales tax, so take that out. It goes down to what my sales price was, which is $19.99. And then once you take out fees and shipping, order earnings was $11.78. And I can tell you that the disc cost me $1.64. So, realistically, made about $10 on it. Not the end of the world, but not a real great profit. Definitely would prefer to make more than that if possible. All right. And let's see, the next lowest one, I'm going to go with the Dell OEM AC Power Adapter Charger. So this one, basically, it's just a power brick for a Dell. And actually, this would be the very lowest earnings, I believe, that we made on this deal. But yeah, it's just a power brick for a Dell. And it just, when I saw it and everything, I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to make some money and blah, blah, blah. Well, and they do sell for a lot if they're brand new and stuff. This one wasn't. And this particular model number, I just kind of rushed into it and didn't take the time to really research it when I bought it because of a couple different things. Number one, this one wasn't really selling for all that much used. Number two, shipping is expensive on something like this. And when you have free shipping included, you pay for that. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. But that's really the only two reasons. I mean, it just wasn't a good deal, but hey, it's gone. We walked away with something. So, this one sold for $17.47. And then when you they paid sales tax for it, brings it down to my sales price, which is $15.99. When you take out fees and the shipping was $7.33 on that sucker. That's a lot because it's pretty heavy. Those things aren't light. When you take that out and the transaction fees, $6.04. We paid $1 for it. So we made about $5.04 on that sucker. Again, hey, man, we sold it and we made some money, but not really all that great of a deal for us. And that's just kind of how it goes sometimes, man. Sometimes you're not going to make a fortune off these things. You're just going to make enough to walk away with something, right? All right, and then the third one in this list is, and actually this one probably produced the most profit, which is kind of going out of order here. But this is a Nike standard dry fit polo. It's a golf shirt, basically. And, Nike doesn't make golf stuff anymore. A lot of people don't know that, but they had kind of a stint there where they did make it. But this particular one, didn't really research it well enough. Shipping is reasonable because it's a polo. It doesn't weigh very much. But anyway, let's see. $27.05 was the order total. They paid $2.06 in taxes. So that brings it down to my price, which is $24.99. When you take out a shipping label for $5.41 and then the transaction fees $3.84, we had $15.74 was what we got from eBay on this, and the purchase price was $4.92. So, a little bit over $10 again, not a lot. Again, just not something I really want to mess with and spend a lot of time on if we're not going to make $20. That's kind of how I feel about it. So, all right. So back to the subject here, the photographs. I had watched a couple on YouTube, an older couple. I believe they're in Florida. But they said something when it came to their photos and their listings. The gentleman, he takes most of the pictures and stuff. He and his wife go out sourcing, and she helps with listing and packing and stuff. But he takes all the photos and that stuff. He said that what they found, and he showed an example. Now, he didn't do green screen stuff like I do. And sometimes that can be really take a lot of time to do. What he did is he would take photos in front of, somewhere physically. He would take photos of whatever it was he was selling with the proper background. So he had some ski boots he was selling. And I don't know how he did this in Florida. Probably just bought some shaved ice. But he took the pictures outside with it looked like snow behind the ski boots. Totally makes sense. And he said that he had read somewhere that if you take a picture of the product in front of where it would be, you're going to have a better chance of it getting noticed, and you're going to have a better chance of selling it. And he showed examples where, he had something up for a year and a half and it didn't sell. He went and retook the picture, in front of what would make sense for this product, and it sold within, a week or two. And so I thought I would try that. Initially, I didn't do this. Initially, I would take pictures right here next to where I work on top of my stereo cabinet because the lighting's pretty good in that area. And if you look at some of my older listings, you'll see that. But I did notice sales went up pretty good when I started taking a little more time and attention and focusing on the photographs. So it does make a difference. I highly suggest you consider something like that. Again, you don't have to get into all this. There's plenty of resellers that do really well that don't do that. There's plenty that just take a quick picture and write out a quick blurb and boom, everything's good. Now, I just want to present things in a different way. So that's why I take the time to do that. But again, it's not a requirement. It's just something that you may want to consider doing if your sales aren't doing so well or your products aren't getting noticed. That's just my opinion. All right. Let's start going on the top 5 profit items, okay, over the past couple weeks. Let's see here. I am going to just pick 5 really good ones that I know made pretty good money on. One of the first ones I can think of, and this is an interesting product. I found this doll, this Littlest Angel doll from the 50s. And I believe the company's R&B, but everybody calls it Arranbee, Arranbee. But I found this vintage doll at a thrift store on a half-off day. And I was just like, wow, man, this is going to make big money. And yeah, I mean, it did really good, to be honest with you. It's just that it took freaking forever, man. It took forever. And I had so many people with questions and stuff about it. People trying to shoot me offers, lowballing me, stuff like that. And whenever that happened, I would go take a look and I would say, well, I mean, there's people selling these for a lot more and they're selling. Why are people coming at me as far as, you know, the price I have? Because it came with 2 extra outfits and 2 extra pairs of shoes and with even some ice skates. Okay. So it seemed like I had it really priced well. And initially I had it priced higher, but I did bring the price down over time. And so long story short, I had a woman who was really interested in it. We talked a little bit. Actually, it was kind of interesting because I had trouble sleeping one night. I woke up at like 3 a.m. and I just so happened to be looking at my phone shortly thereafter, and this lady sent me a message on eBay. And similar thing with her. She had had trouble sleeping for a while, but long story short, she kind of lowballed the price on it a little bit for me. And I said, yeah, I mean, you know, with shipping and everything, I can't do that. And I mean, the other thing is, if you look, this is a very competitive price. And also it comes in the original box. I mean, it's not even just that it came with so many things and the doll's in fantastic shape. It came in the original box from the 1950s, you know, so 70-some-year-old box. I just really couldn't see letting it go for any less than what I had already asked. So, long story short, it sold $64.94. You take out sales tax, $4.95. That brings it down to my sales price, which is $59.99. Then you take out shipping label wasn't bad, $6.73. I did have to pay an ad fee on this one because, you know, it's sold to someone who looked at the ad, and I guess we'll have to pay that on all of them coming up soon from what I hear. And then there were transaction fees. That brought the order earnings down to $42.66. And then this doll was originally $15. I got it for $7.50. So it was half off. So, you know, I mean, I walked away with like $35 all said and done. So it was a pretty good profit. Again, I was just happy to get rid of it because it just kind of was a pain in my ass, to be honest with you. All right. let's see, what's the next one that was pretty darn good here? Yeah, I mean, I guess I would go with this out of print Two Evenings with the Statlers. Okay, Statler Brothers. It's a very rare out of print DVD. I found it for pretty cheap, if I remember correctly. I bought a bunch of discs at this one time. Yeah, I bought it for $1.64. Okay, it sold for $42.79. Take out tax. That's $2.80 they paid in taxes. So $39.99 was my list price on it. After transaction fees, and since it's media, the shipping label was only $4.47. Media mail's a way to go, by the way. And I'll tell you a quick thing about that in a minute. But I walked away with $27.29. I only spent $1.64 on it. So, a little over $25 is what we made. I mean, that's pretty good. It's that sweet spot, especially with DVDs, that I want to try and hit whenever I can, So, yeah, there's that. Yeah. The next one up is another pain in my ass. Kind of funny, too, because this one, boy, I want to say we've had this one since freaking forever as well. Let me see here if I can find it. Yeah. Yeah, boy, this one's even older. We bought this on the 4th of January. So it's over 10 months old. We paid $10 for it. It is a C.E. Schmidt coat, a winter coat, a duck canvas coat, insulated, multiple pockets, got a hood on it, 2XL. Funny thing about this coat, too, I had this cross-listed on Facebook Marketplace, and I've had a few people like this on Facebook Marketplace. To be honest with you, sometimes I go on there and I do some sourcing. But the thing I noticed when I was selling stuff is people suck on there, man. Whether they're trying to buy it from you, you're going to get more lowball offers through Facebook Marketplace than anyone deserves to get. And then on the other end, when you're trying to source stuff, you get people who mess up. You remember the episode where I was driving to the lady, I bought this thing from her, and on the way, I was an hour out of town here, and we figured out that she'd sold it to someone else, because the person showed up to pick it up. She thought she sold it to me, but she had her conversations mixed up on Facebook. Oh my God, dude. So I wasted time, gas, all that to basically drive 2 hours round trip for no reason at all. Definitely pissed me off, but those are the kind of little horror stories on Facebook Marketplace. Well, I had this code on there, and I had this lady come on, and she was like, "I'll give you $20 for it." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think so." She's like, "Well, that's all that coat's worth." I mean, if you look around, you'll find that code. I go, "Well, I have looked around, and based upon all the research that I've done, which, no offense, I'm guessing is probably more than yours, I'm not selling it for $20. So thank you very much." And she kept kind of talking back. I ended up having to block her. That's how people are on Facebook Marketplace. It's like the Walmart, no offense, Walmart, but it's like the Walmart of online reselling, in my opinion. It's just littered with assholes, Not that Walmart is. Walmart has its issues. Really, the biggest issues I think Walmart has are its clientele. And I mean, I go there sometimes. It's very close to me. Sometimes I got to, run and get some milk, or I got to get something because we're cooking something. And I mean, it's just always like on my way there, I start getting sad because I know it's going to suck. I know I'm going to see someone who is a horrible parent, or people that just stand in the middle of the fucking aisles for no apparent reason, blocking the whole aisle. Or the latest problem over the last few years would be the people that they hire in as contractors to go shop for people that don't want to physically go in the store. Which I understand that service and it's great, but those big things those people push around take up more room than almost anything, and they are always in the way. I've gone down an aisle in the grocery store area there, and there's been 3 of those freaking carts down there picking stuff off. And I've actually had someone from one of those things when I was reaching for a box one time, reach up and it was the last one, reach up and grab it in front of me and go put it in the thing. And I walked over and took it back out of their thing. And I said, customer's always right. And they just kind of looked at me and I'm like, you're not going to do anything. It's true. I was reaching for it. They knew I was reaching for it and they took it practically out of my hand. So Walmart is just a frustrating place to shop in. And it's also Facebook Marketplace is a horrible, frustrating place to sell on and to buy on. And so I still do it. I still dabble in it. I mean, I bought some stuff last week. Actually, I think it was that was the first thing that I sourced again after not sourcing for a while. I bought some Dungeons and Dragons stuff from a guy. He had some books, a Dungeon Master Guide, a Monster Manual, another book, and then a bunch of dice. I put it all in a lot. It's for sale on my page or my site, whatever, my store. But that was the first time I've sourced in a while. Now, I have gone to a thrift store since then. I went last weekend. It was pretty good. I'll tell you a little bit about it when I'm done here. Anyway, the C.E. Schmidt coat kind of went off on a tangent there. Sorry. I'm very passionate about some of this stuff. And whew, shopping at Walmart can be the most frustrating situation in the world, you know. And shopping on and selling on Facebook Marketplace. That's why I don't have anything up for sale on Facebook Marketplace. It sucks. But working with people on there is horrible a lot of times. So anyway, I sold this jacket. Coat. It sold. Order total was $58.84. They paid $3.85 in tax. Shipping was a little higher. I mean, it's a heavy winter coat, so it cost me $8.55 for shipping, transaction fees. Order earnings was $38.57, and this coat originally cost us $10. So, yeah, didn't make quite as much as we would have liked to, but hey, you know, I mean, it's not the end of the world. We walked away with more than $20, and so you can't be too upset with it. You got to just kind of roll with the punches sometimes, you know. That's all there is to it. All right, let me get on to the next thing here. Sorry, that was quite a big tangent I went, but I mean, look, man, if you're remotely frustrated with Walmart, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. So let's see here. Before I get to a real big dog, that's two things, I believe. Or no, that's two things on the top profit. So the next one would be another thing my wife found, and she found 3 of these when she found the whole bell that same day, not the exact same place. But she had a heck of a day that day. This is a garden party tea set. Mint, still sealed inside. Vintage from 1999. So the thing's, 26 years old. 20-piece set. And she found 3 of these. She bought all 3 of these for $10 each. And it's funny because I've been getting questions about one of them. This is not the one. I got a lot of questions about one of them, and this ain't it. Now, on something like this, it's sealed, and all the tea set is in foam inside. So that's pretty cool because then you really just have to try and package up the box and that's what I did. I packaged up the box inside of another box with some foam around it on every side. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. Pack that sucker like crazy. The kicker is they paid shipping on this. And so when I have something like that that's kind of odd size or big or something like that, I will usually put that up without shipping included because you can guesstimate how much it's going to cost, but I've been burnt too many times by guesstimating incorrectly, so I'm not going to do that anymore. Anyway, this sold for $66.60. They paid $5.08 in sales tax. with transaction fees and the shipping label brought us down to $37.32 is what the order earnings were. And then it cost $10. So $27.32. It wasn't really up quite as long as I might have thought. I want to say, yeah, she bought that in August, I believe. But yeah, I mean, you know, $28. It's good profit for something like that. And again, we wouldn't have made the profit if it weren't for the shipping being paid by the customer. So you kind of gotta gauge that according to what it is that you're selling. I have a few products in here that I just kind of had laying around. I'm not going to get into those just because, you know, I don't know. There's no real cost to them. But let me tell you a couple more things. That's 3 things I've gone through there. The next one I'm going to go, and I'm going to do this one. This is a 4th thing, just because the profit on this thing, and I may throw in a 6th one today, just because I had some interesting sales this week. The next one I'm going to go with is it's a game, a PC game. And I'll tell you a little something about the shipping on this too. Kind of frustrated me. That's what I was going to get to earlier. This is a Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth 2 PC game. 6 discs inside there. And then the inserts were included as well. We got this at a garage sale, and I've sold a few things from this garage sale. Oh, that Dell Power Brick was from this garage sale. But this is a little bit happier news. And this isn't a huge profit, but I'm just happy to have sold this, especially considering I paid 25 cents for it. The order total was $31.79. They paid $1.80 in sales tax. Transaction fees and the ad deal was $24.60 is what I walked away with. Now, I did have to pay for shipping on this, but you'll notice I didn't say anything about the shipping fee here because I didn't buy the shipping through Amazon. The reason why is this is media, in my opinion. And when I went and looked up the definition of media on USPS's site, yes, software written exclusively to be read on a computer is media. What had happened is when I was researching this, the wrong department really was chosen. It was chosen as video games and consoles, which is still media to me, so I don't entirely understand that. But when that's chosen, you can't select media mail to ship something in. And since it was already sold, I couldn't go change it, right? So that really pissed me off. I ended up setting up a free account with Pirate Ship, okay? Because it was going to cost me like $7.50 or $8, if I remember correctly. And I wasn't going to pay that for it, man. It should be $4.47 is the basic cost for media mail. I set up the shipping thing with Pirate Ship. That's exactly what it cost me, $4.47. So while I didn't make a gigantic profit on it, I learned something new, and that's worth a lot to me. $24.60 minus $4.47, we still came out over $20 ahead on this deal, even with the shipping included. So I feel pretty good about that sale. I wouldn't say it's one of the top 5, but it still made me feel pretty good. So I wanted to throw it in there. And I'm going to do more. I'm probably going to do 7 here, man. I'm sorry, guys. The next one is Steve Odenkirk presents All Thumbs Up, the complete 6 DVD collection. It's out of print. I don't know if you ever saw these ridiculous things back in the day, but Steve Odenkirk, who, his brother is Saul, I believe, on Better Call Saul. He made these films on his own with little thumbs that have faces on them that act. There's like a Star Wars one in there, a Godfather, the Titanic, Blair Witch Project, Frankenstein. There's all these movies in there, but they're all acted out by thumbs. Pretty ridiculous. I came across the set and it was missing a disc probably 15 years ago. Put one in, watched a little bit of it one time, and then just kind of couple of the discs were, well, one of the discs, the Star Wars one, was really beat up. And that was pretty frustrating. But I do have, that's another thing. If you're going to sell media, you have to get a disc resurfacer. And you also need a VHS rewinder if you're going to sell VHS, or a VCR, and or both, right? But the Star Wars one was pretty scratched up. So I resurfaced it using my deal I have here and cleaned it up, and then it played just fine. And the rest of the discs were just fine. But I was still missing one. And that was actually the Godfather one. I found it on eBay with shipping and everything. It was pretty cheap, so I went ahead and bought it. I think the disc was like $2. So it completed the set. So they bought this for $54.21. So the sales tax was $4.22. It brings you down to my price, which is $49.99. Shipping label was cheap, a little bit more because it is medium mail, but it was kind of heavy because there's 6 discs. That was $5.22. And then with the ad fee and transaction fees, brought the order earnings down to $34.45. And I just put down what I believed this was total cost was, because I think I bought the set for like $1 or something back in the day. So I just did $5 on the total cost of goods sold. So yeah, walked away with $30 on that. So I was pretty happy with that one. That was a good sale for sure. I was happy. It was something that was laying around sort of, but not entirely. And then 2 more here, guys. I know I'm doing more than 5. I'm doing 7 here. Okay. This one was really interesting too. There's one thrift store we go to where they do half off on things all the time. And the funny thing is, usually the stuff I find that sells for normal price there. When I go to, and I actually went last Saturday to the same store. This was a Sally Spicer bag, Sally Spicer bags of San Francisco, a large Tropical Monkeys tote. Okay. I want to say, let me see what I bought this thing for, because it's not very much. $6.56. It's not cheap. It's not cheap, but it's not much. Anyway, long story short, $53.49 was the total on it. Brought it down after taxes to my price, which is $49.99. Not bad for less than $7 product. After transaction fees and shipping label, $34.97. So we came out about $28, $29 on this one. Not a bad profit. Definitely not upset with that one at all. I was pretty happy with it. I don't know why I included it in here, but hey, them's the breaks. It's my podcast. And then last but not least, let me pause real quick. And then last but certainly not least on this one, and this is another product I'm glad finally sold. This is from our St. Louis trip when we went down to see that band that I wanted to see. We did, of course, anytime we go out of town, we go to a different town, we're going to do a little thrifting. My wife found this Scent Air Whisper home diffuser machine. Now, we have something like this, but it's by a different company. And basically, you can buy the refills for it. They run for months. And it just helps the whole area just smell nice. Not that we have a stinky house, but that's just sometimes things don't smell the best. And so, or you can smell pets. We have pets. This just kind of does, cleans that up. Funny thing about this one is it had sold before, kind of. What happened was or twice it did, actually. The first time I had a lady that was asking about it. I think I talked to you guys about this, and she was asking if it would take the Pro cartridge. And I researched that and everything and came back and said, no, all signs point to no on that. And she said, well, I think I'm going to buy it anyway. And she ended up buying it, but she didn't buy it from me. She bought it from somebody else. And I think it goes along the same lines as the lady that I was going to buy those games from on Facebook Marketplace. She just got her conversations mixed up in eBay. So she didn't buy it, which was kind of a bummer. So I had it out there for sale again, and I I said send offers, so I did that. Put out an offer. It was $124.99. And all of a sudden, this lady buys it. And I'm like, oh, sweet. This is just a few days after the letdown of the other time. And I was like, oh, cool, we sold that Scent Air. And my wife's like, great. No sooner had I said that when it came back and they said they wanted to cancel. They accidentally purchased it. And I was like, dude, this product is doomed. So I canceled it, didn't lose anything. 3 days later, it actually really sold. Same thing. Promoted listing, $124.99 was my price. So it sold for $137.80. Taxes brought it down to my price, $124.99. Transaction fees a little ridiculous on this, $17.90. Ad fees, $4.13. That's kind of ridiculous too. Shipping label, not bad, $8 for something like this, because it's a pretty good sized product. So order earnings were $94.96. And if I recall correctly, we bought this thing for $7.56. And we bought this from in St. Louis from a place that this one guy that I really like, that I watch on YouTube. He does different reselling videos, and he goes to this place actually just outside of St. Louis, Justin Resells. So when we were going down there, I knew I had to go to St. Vincent's in St. Charles, Missouri. St. Charles is a suburb of St. Louis. We found a lot of good things there actually, but this is one of the things my wife found for under $8. I mean, pretty hard to beat that. And so we made, $90 on this product pretty much, not quite, a little bit under that. But I mean, geez, you really can't beat that. So those are my top sales. I will put those in the photos so you can kind of take a look at what I'm talking about. But yeah, if you look at the photos too, you'll probably see these Halloween costumes my wife and I wore this year, Austin Powers, and then she was a fembot. I put those in there for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think we look pretty awesome. Especially my wife looked amazing. But number two, we're going to sell those costumes now. We don't need them anymore, and they'll go for a lot. I mean, her costume was not cheap because we got this custom made one on Etsy, but not custom made. This lady makes these. It's just when you order a certain size, she actually sews the bra into the costume as opposed to all the costumes we were seeing before that where it just was not going to look good because you'd have to wear it over a bra. Anyway, long story short, we're going to sell those. So that's why that's in the photos there. But yeah, I mean, that's how things have been going. And again, guys, if you look at my photos that I put in the Hawk Picks recent sales, you'll see what I'm talking about. The hunting boots I sold last time in front of a hunting area or the outdoors. The Dell thing. And I think I actually did already talk about that in front of some technology stuff, right? Not all of them. Some I don't have set up that way. I have an urban background, so some of the Converse shoes are in front of that. One pair's not, the black ones that I sold. So that shows you too. Those can sell without a fancy picture background. And they did, but the ones that did sell first, I had in front of the cool background. So kind of take a look at those and you'll see what I'm doing and why I'm doing it this way. And that kind of gives you an idea of what I'm talking about and why I'm doing it. So that's all I got, guys. Nothing else. I appreciate you guys listening. Keep on listening. Keep on reselling. I hope it's going good for you. I hope it keeps going good. I'm going to give a little shout out to my homeboy who's moved up to Seattle now and is, a whole new life. But it's Doug Sells, and I know that's not your official thing, Doug, but he's St. Vincent de Paul. Okay. He was looking at some stuff. He's got some cool. If you look him up, Doug sells it. So Doug Sells YT. My Resale Journey is his real deal that he's got set up. He's got a whole website, Doug Sells, Flipping to Freedom vlog. He does a vlog talking about, he's basically trying to get to a situation where he can do this full time. He wants to do this full time. So give him a check out if you get a chance. I'll put a link to his all of his links in my notes. So be sure and go check him out when you get a chance. He's a fun guy. He's a real nice guy. That's all I got, guys. I appreciate you guys listening. Keep on keeping on. Hopefully the reselling keeps going. We had a nice busy weekend, which was awesome. I would like to just keep it busy every day, but sometimes that's not going to happen. So we just do the best we can. I have been finding things around the house that I've been reselling. I sold another Chromecast. That thing sold in a day. I sold this little portable Bluetooth foldable keyboard with a touchpad that sold. I'm finding things like that and reselling them when I get a chance. It's a good way to get stuff out of your house. And the BitBoy Pocket Go that I sold last time, just things that are just sitting around. Good way to get things out of your house, clear up some clutter, and also to make some money. Even if you paid more for it originally, it's not making any money at all sitting around. So why not just get rid of it and make some cash? So that's what I've been doing. But I appreciate you guys listening. Take it easy. Keep on keeping on. And I will catch you guys here in a couple weeks. Be sure and listen to the Dad Snark podcast as well. Thanks.